Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a brand new league racing video. This is round 11 of the WOR Championship around Abu Dhabi. And for league racing, this is one of the best tracks, to be honest. There's so many overtaking opportunities, good tire wear, good battling. The only issue is that there are potholes on the white lines, which is very annoying. So we're gonna try and avoid those. But they're invisible as well, so that makes it really hard. But today we're gonna try and extend our championship lead, and the good thing about that is that Lucas Blakely is not driving today. We are 63 points ahead of him in the championship. He scored 0 points in Zandvoort, and we are 65 points ahead of Nicolas Longue, who is in P3. So there's 5 races to go, including this one, and yeah, we are closing in on winning the championship, but we're just gonna need some more good results now. Reason for Lucas not driving, I think, is just because doing both WOR and PSL is a lot. Now you might be thinking it's only 2 races in total per week, which is true, but
oh my god,
it's just a preparation that you need so much work these days to do well in league racing. And yeah, I think Lucas just doesn't want to drive unprepared in league racing because I think he feels like it's a waste of time probably. And I completely understand that there's just so much work to do.
this is a terrible lap already.
It's just so much work to do both PSL and WOR, but like today, I've got the same issue. I'm heading into this qualifying without basically any practice, because I was traveling to Brackley, and as you can see in the bottom right, I'm driving from Brackley as well. My camera died, so that's why it's frozen, but yeah, we are heading into this race without any practice, and the thing is as well, none of my teammates have practiced this track before.
There.
As I've hit the marbles on the inside of the corner there. But as I said, none of my teammates have practiced this track as well, and that makes it very difficult, because then you don't have a benchmark in practice, you don't have a benchmark setup. Yeah, it's just very, very tough. And yeah, as you're about to see, across the line, it's only a 21.8, and it's only P15. And yeah, it was a terrible lap, to be honest. I was all over the place. And as you can see here, we're P17 heading into the final sector. But we are 1.5 tenths up. So yeah, it's not looking good for Q2 and Q3. But at least we're going to make it into Q2 here. If we somewhat get this last corner together. But there's still a lot more time to gain in this last corner. And yeah, it's P13 there, which tells some people to finish their laps, but yeah, we're P40 now with only Joseph Loke still behind us on a lap. So we've made it through at least into Q2, and yeah, we're gonna have to change our setup mid-session, because we had a lot of straight line speed, but I think we lost around half a second just in the last sector alone, which is all the low speed parts. And yeah, that's not ideal, of course. So I was going to change the setup for Q2 here. Add some wing on to try and see if we can maybe get some lap time. But the issue is, very often it's not as simple as just adding wing on. You need to change other aspects of the car as well if you go up on the wing. Not always, of course. Sometimes it just instantly works, but that makes it so hard to get a setup right here in one run. And yeah, when other teams like Ferrari, for example, with Tomek, Nicolas and Istvan Pukki are practicing together for quite a bit, not as much for PSL probably, but still for quite a bit, then it makes it very hard to compete.
If you make it into Q3, that would be an absolute miracle. That would be crazy.
And as you can even say there, if we make it into Q3, it will be a miracle. Because I've changed my setup now for the second run, but we're still off the pace, unfortunately. And not to mention, you have to adapt yourself really fast, because every corner you go into, you're arriving with like 5 to 10 kph less speed. So you can brake much later, and then you slow down faster as well. So yeah, the whole dynamic of the corner changes a lot. You have to adapt really fast. As I've gone deep into turn 4, as I'm really pushing hard here to try and make it into Q3, but unfortunately we've lost 700s there, if not a tenth actually in turn 5, and we're somehow gonna have to gain that tenth back, and then also gain another 1 to 2 tenths to make it into Q3. So we've gained a 10 back in the chicane, and now we need to gain time in the final sector if we want to make it into Q3. Valentin Bruffer P11 right there, but he's still on a lap. So let's see how far we are up. We're actually 1/10 up on him, or a half a 10 up on him, going into the final sector. Back end a little bit unstable through there, and you can see that Jet Norgrove with a 21.328 in P11, and we've only done a 0.5, so we're gonna have to go 2 tenths faster than our delta, and we're only half a 10 up as we exit this double left-hander. So we're gonna have to absolutely send it and do a magical last corner. Can we make it into Q3? Trying to get the front end into the final corner, and it's unfortunately not enough. We're only P14, and yeah, that was to be as expected, to be honest. Of course, barely done any practice going into the session, and yeah, we were quite a bit of the pace there. 4 tenths away from Nicolas Longueur, championship rival. We got pole as well in Q3 by 1.3 tenths. Yeah, we just didn't have the pace, so not ideal, not ideal. We're starting P14, and yeah, the reason I'm not practicing and then still doing the league race is because I'm always hoping for points, and I feel like it's always still a good experience to start from the midfield, even if we don't have the pace. 1 point is always better than 0. So into the race we go now. We're going to be starting on the hard combine of tires. Like many people around us, it's going to be 5 red lights, and away we go for round number 11 of WOR. Into turn 1 we go. Equal start to the rest. Having a little look down the inside of Joseph, who sends it down the inside of Tomac, but can't quite pull the move off. I'm going to tuck in behind Declan Barra there in P13, trying to take it a little bit safe. And I've put my original setup back on, so we're gonna have a lot of top speed into turn 5. We go down the inside of the Alfa Romeo of Declan, and he actually went off there, but
did he disconnect?
He had a cross next to his name, but name.
Now
he's somehow joined back. I'm not sure what's going on there, but he disappeared for a bit. Maybe a bit of desync, I'm not sure. Into the chicane we go, braking very deep. And gaining another position through Joseph Loke, and somehow we kept it on track actually there. And up to P12 we go. So 2 positions gained there to the people on the same strategy as us, and that is crucial. Now we've got Jet Norgrove on the mediums ahead, and we are not gonna go on the attack for him. At the moment we're just looking to preserve P12 here, unless there are other hard runners ahead. You can see that Thomas and Philip actually on the hards in P9 and P8 as I get hit from behind there, and that cost us quite a bit of time, unfortunately. So we're gonna continue here and try to gain the time back that we just lost in a double left-hander. But yeah, we are running the original setup that we started with in Q1, simply because I felt like I didn't really gain a lot by adding on the wing in Q2. Didn't really feel any better. So next time I'm having a league race on Abu Dhabi, we're gonna have to dive into that a little bit more. But here on lap 2 now, I'm gonna use a bit of my battery to get closer. But yeah, you can see there all the hard runners drop behind all the medium runners. We got Philip on the hards ahead of us, Thomas on the hards in P10, and then Valentin Bruffer, who I think qualified in P3 actually. Right there in P10 now actually, as he's gone wide in the hairpin there and lost the position. So you can see there Philip using his battery. We're gonna just sit behind here for 1 more lap, because you can see Valentin is flashing and he's on the same tire still. He's trying to find a way through but can't quite pull it off, as he gets boxed in with Thomas ahead, and these two are tangling, and that is gonna be 1 free position, 2 free positions, because into the left-hander we're gonna be fully leading, because we had a full battery. We could just use however much we wanted there. Into P10 we go, and second of the hard runners, so very good start there, considering Thomas started I think in P6 and Valentin in P3. I'm not sure what has happened to Valentin now, but he is dropping down the order like a stone. And now the hards are starting to get a little bit faster, I think so. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to start seeing some pit stops in the next 2-3 laps already from medium and soft runners. We're going to have to extend a long way into this race though, because these are the softest compounds available. So yeah, tire wear is quite high, and of course Abu Dhabi is quite harsh on tire wear, especially on the rears with all the distraction zones. So end of lap 8 here, Thomas got past Jet, was on those mediums, and he is going to box together with Tomek and Fabrizio De Noso, I think so. End of lap 8, which means they're going to have to do 21 laps on a set of hards, which is quite a long way. We are not going to be doing 21 laps on a set of hards, that's for sure. And we are looking to probably go around 15, 16, 17, 18, maybe 19, but that'll be quite a stretch. So we're going to get DRS once again. Alvaro actually on the hards as well there, so we were in a net P3 on the hards this whole time. But yeah, he's been holding up quite well this race, between all those medium runners up front, as that's another 2 people boxing there. Istvan Pukki and Nicolas Longe, we both started on the softs, going onto the hards on the end of lap 9, so 20 laps for them to the end of the race, and again, quite a long way in my opinion, but yeah, we have seen many times in league racing that track position is so important, especially if you're in that front group. You cannot box too late, especially if you're starting on the softer tire, because you're not going to catch back up and gain those positions. Now, end of lap 13, final 2 medium runners boxing, Piotr and Otis into the box, and they are doing a more of a normal strategy, something more in between, but it also means they've given up probably quite a bit of track position to go longer here, as Valentin Bruffer has retired from the race. I'm not sure what has happened to him. Maybe he got front wing damage early on, but I think he started really well, and I know he's on the hards, but his race has gone completely to zero. Now we're looking to extend for a few more laps. Thomas going for the move on Alvaro in lap 14 here, and yeah, again, we're just gonna sit behind for now. Go long, because that's our only hope. We of course started at P14, are in a net P11, I think so. Maybe net P10? I think net P10 actually. But of course we did have some people boxing already, so we might have dropped a few positions. We will see. End of lap 15 now. Alvaro boxing for a new set of mediums, because softs is a too long way from home, and we actually have to push a little bit here to get back into the DRS of Thomas, which shouldn't be too much of an issue, to be honest, because we've got a full battery, of course. Thomas might have used a bit, having to overtake Alvaro. We're not sure what he's on, but we are burning it a little bit here to make sure we can get DRS on this lap. And you can see Josef actually behind has dropped out of the DRS and is struggling a little bit to get back in, so that is good news for us. The bigger the gaps in between, the better if we go longer, of course. But yeah, we're looking to probably box either at the end of this lap or at the end of next lap. But yeah, 13-12 laps on the mediums seems quite reasonable, especially considering others are going to be doing 20 to 21 laps on hards. It looks like a good strategy, to be honest, at the moment. Starting on the hards and going relatively long. Josef did box at the end of lap 16. We're going to be boxing at the end of lap 17 here. Expecting Thomas to go in as well. But you can see there, Nicolas is only 6.1 seconds behind. And yeah, he's basically made up almost an entire pit stop. So we have to box here, otherwise we're losing too much time. I think Nicolas gained a second on the last lap on us. So onto the mediums we go. Easy purple pit stop, of course. And now we are gonna have to make up for a lot of positions, but that's what we signed up for when we started on the hards. And yeah, you can't really go early onto mediums because they are the softest compound you have of the Pirelli tires. So out of the box we go. We are in P14. Josef has jumped Thomas as well, but yeah, it looks like we're not going to be able to get Josef on this lap already. We're just going to play it a little bit chill here. We know Thomas will pass Josef instantly because we've got a lap fresher tires. But yeah, we are gonna play patience. We're too far away from Josef to go for a move, and he's gonna get DRS on the next straight anyway. So yeah, we're just gonna sit behind here, get the DRS, keep our battery full, and yeah, maybe get him in 1 or 2 laps. And as you can see there, Josef is starting to draw back a little bit here. At the beginning of lap 20, we set a purple first sector, and we're gonna go for the move. Josef does have DRS, but I think he realized as well that his best shot at points here is to let us go, because on the next lap he would have lost DRS to Thomas. So this maybe gives him another 1, 2 or 3 laps of DRS, and yeah, we're pulling him along here and helping his race as well. So it was smart for him to not use his battery to fight the losing fight, because we were gonna get past on those fresher tires no matter what. Another purple middle sector. We actually did set the fastest lap there on that lap, but it got beaten by someone who boxed even later than us onto medium. So unfortunately no extra point for us. Lap 22 here though, we have finally caught up to the people who boxed early. And yeah, that's Tomek actually who boxed at the end of lap 8 with Fabrizio De Nozo. So we're looking to go for a move here soon, because we don't want to get stuck in the final sector behind people who are on all tires, because that would lose us a lot of lap time. Now Thomas and Tomek going side by side. We're gonna go for a beautiful switchback here, and you can see that is no match for Tomek, simply because he's on so much all the tires. He doesn't have the grip that we have at the moment. And again, that's another relatively free pass. We didn't really have to use our battery there. And you can see that Jet Norgrove ahead of Fabrizio flashing, which means he is below 10% ERS. Same for Fabrizio there, as they're going side by side into turn 1. I'm not sure if they actually touched there, but it was very close. And now Thomas is for sure gonna go for the move on the next straight, with actually having a little go into the hairpin. And yeah, free position there. That's quite easy, of course. We've got so much more grip. Fabrizio flashing. We're gonna turn on the overtake button and go for the move on Fabrizio, but also for a move on Jet Norgrove, who is flashing there, doesn't have DRS. Yeah, easy pass. I'm not gonna pass Thomas right yet, because I felt like I was a bit tight into that chicane with a potentially 3 wide moment. Not to mention there was nothing to gain for us there passing Thomas, because we're gonna get DRS here again. A little bit of extra ERS regeneration, and we're just gonna sit back for now. Lap 24, you can see Thomas has caught up to Philip. We have caught up to Philip, as Piotr goes wide actually there, and that is not ideal for him, at least. Good for us. They're going side by side into turn 1.
Oh my god, that scared the shit out of me.
Thomas' car actually freaked out a little bit on the outside curve there. Philip flashing, which is good news for us. And that means we're gonna have another easy pass, because we have a full battery once again on the next straight. Philip actually goes for a dive bomb a little bit, but almost swiped Thomas there, so that was a bit scary for us. We're gonna turn on the overtake button, because we've got a full battery here with 4.5 laps to go. And that is 3 positions in the space of a few meters. So that's beautiful. And we actually get a little tap there.
Of course it's him.
From the guys behind who were battling. So, no ideal. I think Thomas got hit by, I think, Fabrizio or Piotr. I'm not sure, but there's a bit of a train effect there. So, we're gonna have 4 laps to go at the end of this one. We have got fresh mediums and a full battery, or almost full battery actually. So it is looking very nicely for us at the moment. Alvaro, of course, on relatively fresh mediums as well, but we got 2 lap fresher mediums, so it's looking good for us at the moment. And we're gonna try and pick them off one by one. We only need to gain 1 position every single lap from here on. 4 laps to go, 4 cars to overtake. So more ERS than basically everyone had, better tires. This looks to be relatively easy. However, in theory, it's always easier than in reality. So let's see what we can do here. Alvaro, of course, looking to make moves as well, as he knows that we are going to go on the attack here. So we have to make moves fast. Our tires are starting to deteriorate a little bit as well. I've turned on the overtake button, and we're gaining a lot to Alvaro. Alvaro's gaining a lot to Istvan, and we're going to go down the inside of Alvaro here. Istvan is defending, almost 3 wide, but I decided to back out of it, as that gap would have closed really, really fast. Into the right hand, there we go. Istvan runs a little bit off track, and now we're gonna try and once again go for the overtake in the long left-hander. They're not making this very easy for us, and in the long left-hander we go around the outside. Alvaro's flashing. We're gonna have clean air on the outside there, but Istvan runs us out of road, and...
Oh, man. You push me off track and then don't give me space to get back on.
And unfortunately, that has given us wing damage. You can see that the car is instantly not turning anymore.
Yeah, of course
And as you can see there, actually, just above my face cam, we had front left wing damage. And that is costing us a lot of front downforce. You're going to see here into turn 1. The front end is not going to bite anymore. And yeah, that's no ideal. I'm not sure. We were, of course, a little bit behind on the apex. I think actually we're side by side on the apex, but Istvan just put the throttle on and sent us off track a little bit. And then we went off track. Of course, we returned full throttle, but I'm not sure else what I'm supposed to do. So, yeah, again, maybe I should have rejoined the track a few meters later. I'm not sure, but as Istvan has actually opened the door there, we're gonna go down the inside. He's squeezing us off track a little bit there. But we got the position now in lap 27. But the win is out of question now, because we've got front wing damage, and of course we've got fresher tires. The front is just not gripping up anymore. You can see Alvaro gaining time through the long left-hander. So yeah, it's been a good race nonetheless so far, actually. Even if we only get P4, we've gone from P14 to P4 with wing damage at the moment. So yeah, no ideal. I understand, of course, Istvan is teammates with Nicolas, and we're in the championship fight with Nicolas. But yeah, it's not ideal. You can see the front is not turning anymore. As I'm trying to get on the power. We still got 50% battery though, and we're looking to use that at some point in the middle of this lap, so we can go for a move on Alvaro, even with the broken front wing. You can see the lap times have tumbled completely with 2.5 seconds on the pace now. Of course, tires have gone off a little bit, but I think a lot of that is the front wing as well. Alvaro 4.8 tenths behind. I was trying to do this a little bit tactically, because I didn't want to go for a move and then lose out another position. But Alvaro's gone wide there, and this has invited us for an opportunity to go for a move here in the slipstream. ERS enabled, and we've got so much more straight line speed here. Even though Alvaro's DRS, we're going to be completely passed into the next chicane. And does this give us the opportunity to maybe still fight for a win, as Otis and Nicolas are battling it out here on the last lap as well. So I'm a little bit hoping for a tiny incident here, so we can squeeze through somewhere. But you can see there Otis flashing, DRS open, can't really get close enough, and we can't get the front end in anymore because of the broken front wing.
Damaged front wing. It's my race, yeah.
Yeah, the broken front wing unfortunately was no ideal. Trying to have a little look down the inside of Otis, pressurizing him, but
that incident with Pookie gave me front wing damage.
Yeah, we can't get close enough anymore, unfortunately. We're gonna come home in P3. Nonetheless, a good result. We do lose 10 points to Nicolas, but yeah, no ideal, no ideal. It is what it is. P3, and on to next race, which will be, I think, Kota, one of my favorite ones. Can't wait for Kota. And now we're 55 points out of Nicolas, so we've only really dropped 8 points to P2 after a no practice race. Next few races I'm going to be grinding hard, because we've got in Brackley we're training, of course, and we're going to be practicing hard the coming 2 weeks. So that's why I took also a few days off a little bit, so I could rest up before I'm going to grind hard the coming few weeks. And yeah, 55 points, 4 races to go. We can win the championship on the next round. So can't wait for Kota with 4 races to go, of course. If we get more than 78 points out of Nicolas, we win, but we will have to win. And Nicolas would have to score less than 1 point, basically. Or less than 2 points, sorry. So we will see how it goes. Happy with the result. nonetheless, very good race in my opinion from my side. Could have maybe done things with each one a little bit differently looking back at it, but it is what it is. Make sure to like and subscribe for more league racing content. Unfortunately, I didn't save the replay this time, so I couldn't look back on the incidents. I'll try and remember myself to do it for next time. But make sure to like and subscribe, and see you guys next time. Ciao.